Welcome to part 2 of my review of the catalog. Starting with this nickel plate road Berkshire freight set. Fixed pilots? What does that mean? Well, take a look at this. The two pilots look different. I wonder if it has interchangeable pilots or something. I don't know. The Atomic Energy Glow-in-the-Dark Legacy set. Lionel's really starting to get attached to glow-in-the-dark. And how does this train glow? What, has it been covered with nuclear waste or something? Man, you know, Lionel should make some solo glow-in-the-dark freight cars. Illinois Central City of Miami. Unlike this Rock Island set, it's not cheaper than the two locomotives. New tooling on these old-style passenger cars, because this is supposed to be the very first passenger cars with vestibules, to make it safer for passengers to cross cars. And Lionel's making some Looney Tunes scale freight cars. Why do they need to be scale? It's just a cartoon. They're not going to make super realistic trains in that cartoon. So why does Lionel have to be realistic too? Hotbox reefers. You know, I have one of them, maybe in a different tooling, but yeah, I've got one of them. And before you say it's cheaper on eBay, these ones have more features than the original. Like the fact that they have electro-couplers and legacy control, so it makes sense for these to be more expensive. But if these freight cars have more features, then why are these reefers called Vision Lines, while these reefers are not? They have more features. You know, if any freight car should be considered a Vision Line, it should be these. Milk cars. Too bad they're not these operating kind. I could use a new one. My old one's starting to break. Freight Sounds boxcars. They're not legacy controlled, so I guess they're triggered by moving. And weather dough gauge freight cars. Should I get these? Well, I'm not gonna get these if they have cheaper ones on eBay. Do they have cheaper ones on eBay? Ooh, yes they do. Then we've got legacy-controlled wooden sound cabooses. Same kind of caboose in that triplex set. Oh wait, they're only available as Pennsylvania. We have now made it to Lion Chief. Starting with Lion Chief Plus 2.0. You know, Lion Chief Plus 2.0 really isn't a bad type of electronics. The speed control and sounds are really better than Lion Chief. Starting with the Berkshires. Just in case if these Berkshires are too expensive for ya, they're just in the regular road names like Pure Market and Nickel Plate Road. Then we've got the Genesis, the 40th anniversary heritage units. And Amtrak decided that 164 should be the new Phase 4 heritage unit. But these P42s also come in Metro North. Metro North doesn't use P42s, instead they use P32s. And there are differences between P42s and P32s. P32s are half diesel, half electric, and sometimes powered by a third rail. P42s are completely diesel, but Lionel has been thinking since they look completely identical, who would notice? Conrail's probably based on this FL9 right here. Will it be easy to find any Metro North passenger cars in O-Gauge? Doodlebugs, I wish I wasn't tight on my budget. What? Another frozen train set? That silly, ridiculous idea for a train! That Lionel has to design too? This movie takes place at a time period before trains were even invented! I mean, what, does Elsa gain magical powers to time travel or something? Oh no, Lionel. If John Deere ever owned a train, I do not think it would look like this. Then we've got the Looney Tunes still using that old detonator despite the fact that they're not exploding boxcars. Prairie Freight. New tooling? You liar, Lionel. It's a post-war tooling. It's an old tooling that they haven't used since the post-war era. And just gave it Lion Chief Electronics. That is not a new tooling. You could also buy it as a single locomotive, and man, with that keystone, it's not gonna look good as a Santa Fe or as a US Army. It's only gonna look good as a Pennsylvania engine. More Lion Chief diesels, such as FTs and ET-44s. Man, some of them are dummy units, and for those dummy units, there's not another one powered unit with the same road name. So you're gonna have to use a matching engine from a different catalog. Then we've got TMCC speeders. None of them are in an accurate paint scheme. Even the Chicago and Northwestern one. Seriously, Chicago Northwestern does their paint schemes like this. Then we've got Harry Potter, no Hogwarts Express in this catalog, just some boxcars with Harry Potter photos on them. Then we've got the DC stuff. When people hear The Dark Knight, they're gonna think you're talking about this awesome movie, and not just Batman's nickname. Superbad flat car carrying steel beams. I get it, because he's called the Man of Steel. Then we got some freight cars with graffiti on them. The tank car and box car look as good as a scale model. Oh, and it's the 75th anniversary of the California Zephyr. Seriously, Lionel should have released California Zephyr passenger cars in this catalog. And made Western Pacific Rio Grande and E6s. Well, they got the Burlington ones in this catalog. It's now time for the Halloween stuff. Well, thank God that triplex is not the only thing in this catalog that glows in the dark. Then we got the Ichabod Crane car. I get it, because his last name is Crane. And it's just a bunch of Halloween painted stuff. Man, you know, that Exorcist and It boxcar sounded like a good idea, but I'm afraid I got some bad news. They were cancelled. And one thing that could have led to them being cancelled was the fact that they didn't get enough pre-orders. But then that Boneyard Soda has found enough pre-orders to not get cancelled, meaning that some people would rather have the Boneyard Soda products. Ouch. Now we've gotten to the Christmas stuff, and out of all this Christmas stuff, the Polar Express stuff is what I'm looking forward to the most. Now, many people have requested that Lionel should remake these legacy-scale Polar Express Berkshires, and now Lionel finally is. Yep, Lionel has been making many passenger cars for it, but they've gotten no locomotive for a long time, but now they finally do. And now, this engine is so expensive, like, it can sell for $10,000 on eBay. Yeah, it's about time Lionel remakes it. Yet they're somehow remaking it in red and blue for some reason, but at least they're doing an accurate paint scheme. That's the important thing. Then there's the 20th anniversary set, and Why is the tender's coal load painted in yellow? And here's one I am going to get for sure. There's like no way I'm saying no to this. A Lion Chief Plus 2.0 Polar Express Berkshire. Because a normal Lion Chief version was way too quiet, and this one seems a lot better. I deeply regret on missing out on this engine. Then we've got Polar Express handcars, the same tooling as that Mickey Mouse handcar, but with different figures. And if you're gonna make a Polar Express handcar, why won't you just use elves? I mean, this handcar made an appearance in the movie and it used elves. Not these two. There's Billy's house, Billy with a present, and I'm sure there's Legos in that present because of the sound it makes when he shook it in the movie, yeah. And then we've got some Polar Express water towers. And at the Trade World picture, take a look at what they showed. Oh, it just reveals so much of that water tower. It looks like a stack. Just a stack. And we've got so much other Christmas stuff, blah blah blah. This puts Lionel on a time limit. Lionel has got to release this stuff in time for Christmas. Did I say in time for Christmas? No, not just that. They need to release it in time for December. So people can have their decorations up all in December. Yeah, Lionel's on a time limit. In fact, why did It's a Wonderful Life bomb in the box office? Because it couldn't release on time for Christmas. So Lionel's better release this stuff in time for Christmas, or else nobody will buy it. Challenge accepted. Then we've got an Amtrak freight station. You know, Amtrak doesn't do freight. They do passenger. Well, they used to do freight. But not that long with this new logo. I might get the Amtrak passenger shelter. Then there's a new version of the 153 IR, this time plug and play to make it a lot more easier to hook up. Yeah, no wire stripping, just plugging in your signals. But does Lionel have any plug and play signals? And in case if you're wondering why this book is bigger than usual, it's because the Lionel's just filling up with pages that tells you what's available right now. I mean, seriously, this is a huge waste of pages. In fact, soon they're not going to be available. It's like giving yourself a tattoo that says you're 38. You're not gonna be 38 forever. So in a year or less, that tattoo is gonna lie. Just like on how these pages are gonna lie when some of these products sell out. Then that's it for these pages, and then we go back to them. And then there's that table I've already destroyed by talking about it. And that's it for the catalog. Man, there are a lot of trains that are hard to say no to, but one thing I'm truly not gonna say no to is the Polar Express Lion Chief Plus 2.0. Unless if I decide to get a legacy version instead.